My niggas. Hey, my first day, I don't do no kind of first. I gotta find a pick. And I'm CashGang, it's only right, and I know. You know what's going on? Did it to the hard way, like him.
It's pop.
This before I even got $1 from them. Stop playing.
Dope business, man. Y'all niggas meet me in New York, going on. Sign that party, man. Shit's going up, man.
Welcome to another episode of Midwest Steppas. Go ahead and get situated. We've got a situation. Now, if you've been following FWC Big Key or the CashGang movement, then you know a few members who recently signed deals. Real Rich Izzo about 3 years ago, I know, inked a deal with Capitol Records. And after FWC Big Key served 3 years, he got out, bossed up, up-rolled, drop chains.
Custom 2-4 piece made for the one and only Big Key. Now here's the thing, I made this piece like 4 or 5 months ago. Bro's in jail, we communicating, trying to figure out how he coming when he come out. And this is, you know this Detroit piece, you know how big this piece is. And look at this compared to this. I mean,
FDO song did millions real quick. Most recently, FWC Big Key inked a deal with 300 Entertainment. And while it seems like everything's looking up for Key right now, well, depending on what that deal he signed for, but right now it's looking real good. I've heard rumors that span from 3 million all the way to as little as 500,000. Now me personally, I'm like, nah, not 500,000. He worth way more than that for sure. But let's get to the meat and potatoes. Because imagine you got out of jail, got the bag, song hit 1 million, then you sign a deal in one of your own, literally make a post like this. Man, I'm not looking for no rap deal. I'm not signing for no couple of dollars that I'ma spend in 5 or 6 months and be stuck on that shit. I'm building a catalog. Now I know this post can be construed to just be his thoughts on the situation, but the timing of this post is what's most concerning. Now Izzo and Key, and I think Leak was even signed before he got locked up. I don't know if he signed now, but they all been signed, but I don't believe Moo was ever signed. And he could be responding to people asking or saying why he never been signed, especially after Key came straight home and got signed. And that could be the response to that, you know, people just asking. But it come at the worst time. Right after Key got signed and people talking about for 500,000, which no one really knows. But then you drop a post saying, why would I sign for this little money and that I can make in a couple months and blah, blah, blah. So when you see a post like that, I can sort of see why people formulated the idea that it's Izzo hating, for lack of better words. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't see Moo when Key got signed, when he signed the deal. You know what I'm saying? Or the little celebration that they had in New York. And I think, you know, they held that as a little signing celebration or something like that. You know, Moo is like the money behind CashGang. Moo always was rumored to be the one paying niggas bails, paying for niggas lawyers, and putting lotto tickets on people, you know what I'm saying, getting them done. And one would believe that gave Moo a sense of power. And I think he liked that whole, oh, I'm the richest person out the crew, I'm big dog around here, I send the hits, I do this and that. Even though you see him complaining about paying bails and stuff online and paying for lawyers, I also believe he like it on the other side, on the flip side of the coin, you know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't saying Moo like this, but you know, some people, that's how they get their sense of belonging, by doing things for people. You know, some people, that's their love language, you know, act of service, giving, physical touch, you know. But you know, Moo, he's been the money behind CashGang for so long, and especially with Key being locked up and then Key getting out and blowing past like that. And I think he feel like he took his position, because it seemed like Moo is more of the leader of that whole situation, or second in control, capo, next to Key. I don't know if he can actually be who he really want to be next to Key. Sometimes that, not saying this is Moo train of thought, this is just what I think about the situation, looking at the characteristics of the people inside the situation. Let's get situated. Now, meat and potatoes. When Key was locked up, Moo had a real rivalry going on with another CashGang member by the name of Morg. Now, I can't pinpoint off the back why Morg and Moo is into it so deep, but Morg is the one who is rumored to be with Mike Brown when Mike Brown got unalived, you know what I'm saying? And also to be with Izzo when Izzo was in the shootout where Morg was hiding under the steps. And Morg also was rumored to steal a gun from one of the 30 members and also breaking Key best friend's house. But Morg and Moo will have their online spats back and forth where some things were said where they probably would never be cool again. When Morg even spoke on Moo's situation when he was in the house when some people broke in and he actually left his children. Morg has started his own gang called 7-2, Slime Belt. And him and Moo just were not getting along.
Go ask him how that slime felt on CashGang, boy. Don't ask me about no slime belt. Shout out to Lil JJ. Go ask him how that 9 felt.
But when Key was released from prison and people asked about the situation with Morg because everybody, thought CashGang was breaking up and everything, Key said that Morg is his brother. And you would see Key, with Morg, and even Morg with Key chain on and whatnot. And you don't know how Moo probably feel about that situation with Key getting out and it seemed like he didn't pick sides. You get what I'm saying? And that can be the reason why you haven't been seeing Moo with Key as much as we usually see Moo with Key, like before the lockup and everything. But on the other side, it could be that Moo was on paperwork and can't be around them, actually. You know what I'm saying? He probably wasn't, in New York at the little signing deal party or shindig because he didn't supposed to be out of town, or he don't supposed to be around them people, or maybe he was there but just wasn't on camera for us to see so that he wouldn't get in trouble with his PO. You never know, but I'm just saying it look a certain way when you say certain things at a certain time. And, people like us, we just on the outside looking in. So it looked like what it looked like. And I say, the only reason why people even come up with these ideas is the way that some of the movement is in the internal segment of their whole little, gang or group. I don't want to just title them as a gang, but group, it always seem a little bit finicky. You know what I'm saying? They always breaking up with somebody. Recently, they just, went to war or at turmoil with 0430, with 22 Fox Gang. It's like they always breaking apart from the inside out. And it could be because they link up a lot with a lot of other groups and people that they didn't necessarily grow up with. You know what I'm saying? You got each person having a different group of people that they mess with predominantly more, and those group of people, entourages and side people and young dogs getting into it with the other people, young dogs, and it sort of make for a bad core group because things are gonna happen and it's gonna put people in a position where they have to pick sides, and people gonna pick the sides that they pick. And it might not sit well with you, and it may put you in a position where you have to pick sides, and you have to pick the side that's best for you. Now, again, maybe all of this is just a coincidence or a case of bad timing, or we could be witnessing the beginning of the end. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. Do y'all think Moo is hating? Or do y'all think it's just a coincidence, that Moo all of a sudden is downplaying getting a deal right when the biggest person in their group get a deal, But this is Midwest Steppas. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? We on the road to 5K. Appreciate. Peace.